Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road, and you're ready to go if you want to.
Great.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. Live Music Nation Podcast Festival Edition. I'm your host, Gill. Today, we are with Jenn. She is with the Chamber of Commerce. They host an event called Wickedly Whiting. Jenn, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Jenn, give us a little background on you. Where'd you grow up? Talk a little bit about your family and your career.
Sure. So I grew up in Marion, Indiana. It's a little bit north of Indianapolis. I studied dance most of my life, went to school in Bloomington, Indiana at IU, and studied dance and nonprofit management there. Moved up to Chicago after school, worked for some dance companies up in Chicago. And then more recently, in the last 2 years, I started looking for work back here in the region. And now I'm in Whiting for the Whiting Robertsdale Chamber of Commerce. I'm the executive director here. And we put on a ton of community events that serve both our residents and our businesses here in town.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's jump into this festival. Let's start with the when and the where.
Sure. So Wickedly Whiting is the second weekend of October. It's October 13th and 14th year. So it's Friday evening from 5 to 11, and then Saturday all day, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay. All right. So the three questions that our listeners want to know, they've never been there before. It helps them create that picture. What does it look like? What does it smell like, meaning food? What does it sound like, meaning activities, drinks, etc.?
Yes. So Wickedly Whiting is one of the largest Halloween festivals here in the region, in Northwest region of Indiana. And so sites, you're going to see people dressed in costumes. This year's theme is Fear Friday the 13th. It is our first Friday the 13th for this festival. It's our 8th year of the fest. So you're going to see a lot of people dressed up, a lot of people really leaning into that Halloween fanfare, whether it's the kind of thriller slasher movies, or if, they're going more the traditional route. We've got witches, we've got zombies, we've got ghosts. Food, you're going to see that classic fall fair food. We've got, everything from the sweets and the treats to the more nutritious options of, deep fried veggies.
Yeah.
So you're going to see all of that. We've got craft vendors who are who create, beautiful sculptures that are kind of eerie and odd. We've also got some vendors who use animal bones to create beautiful wall decorations. We've got vendors who kind of take those classic porcelain dolls and really lean into how creepy those dolls truly are. So if you like things that are eerie, odd, Halloween themed, this is the fest for you. We've got a lot going on.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. For you, what do you enjoy the most about your job, Jenn?
So I would say I first started working with the Chamber of Commerce as their event coordinator. So I love the festivals and community events that we put on, particularly Wickedly Whiting. It is, Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, and I love a good opportunity to dress up. So being able to work with our local businesses, with incoming vendors, and to kind of see a bunch of people who maybe haven't been to Whiting, Indiana, or don't really know where it is on the map, or kind of didn't realize that this small of a community could put on such a great party. I love kind of seeing that and interacting with those fest goers. So that's probably my favorite part of my job. Yeah, there's a lot of elements that I like as well too, though.
Yeah, no, that makes great sense. That makes great sense. As you look ahead to the future, let's kind of highlight a few more other festivals that you've got late fall and next spring. What are some other events that you guys host annually?
Yeah, so we've got Wickedly's coming up. Our most coming up festival is actually the end of this month in July. We have Pierogi Fest, which is a huge festival, and that'll be July 28th through the 30th. So that's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And those are all day events, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday, we end at 5 p.m. to clean up. And we've got a ton going on for that festival. If you love pierogi, if you love the region culture, music, food. That's a good one to come out to here in Whiting. Then you've got Wickedly Whiting in October, and we've got our Christmas festival, Kris Kringle Market, which is the first 2 weekends of December. And those are a Friday evening and Saturday, midday to into the evening, where we've got, your classic pretzels, roasted nuts, crafts, ornaments, everything you could need for the holidays.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. All right. So 2 questions I like to ask at any and every interview, and it's just my personal preference. Best concert you've ever been to, Jenn?
Best concert I've ever been to. I was thinking about this the other night because I went to Bob Dylan's Americanarama tour where My Morning Jacket opened, and that was an incredible show. But I think it got topped when I went to, I saw David Byrne in Chicago at the Auditorium Theater. And as somebody who grew up, in the dance world, I mean, the show that he puts on, it's got music, it's got choreography. That was like one of the best concerts I've ever been to, even though I was way up in the nosebleeds. But it gave me a good aerial view of all that awesome choreography.
Okay, perfect. Dead or alive, you could bring one musical act to your town. Who would you bring?
Oh man, that's a great question. I'm a huge Janis Joplin fan, so I think Janis would really, really bring the house down at a good blues fest here in Whiting. I mean, the showmanship I think would really jive with our fest.
That'd be spectacular. Absolutely. Yeah. Jenn, how do people find out more about what's going on there in Whiting?
Sure. So the Chamber has a Facebook page, Whiting Robertsdale Chamber of Commerce. We also have a website, wrchamber.com. If you're interested in Pierogi Fest or the October Festival of Wickedly Whiting, we've got pierogifest.net for that July festival, and then wickedlywhiting.com for our Halloween festival in October.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for being on with us, Jenn. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate having me.
You're welcome. Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road. Are you ready to go if you want to?